So this journey was actually after listening a lot to Abraham over the last couple of years and asking myself, am I moving to, is my vortex calling me? Like, how do I listen to my vortex and move in that direction?
By being satisfied now. You're making it a big project. You're making it a project like cleaning out the garage that is such a big project that you never even start. You just got to be satisfied now. And any subject will do. Do you believe that? Does that make sense to you? If it is true, and it is, that life caused you to ask, and you did, and that you launched it into your vortex, and that your inner being is all over it, and all of the cooperative components have been gathered, and they have. If all of that is true, and that all that you have now to do is to stop doing that thing that keeps you from being in the receiving mode, you don't even have to start doing the thing that puts you in the receiving mode. You just have to stop doing the thing that keeps you out of it. You would be satisfied if you weren't doing that thing that keeps you from being satisfied. You would be satisfied unless you were doing that thing that keeps you from being satisfied. You just would be. So Esther started playing a game with herself where she will find herself in a moment where she really feels satisfied. And the way that's usually first indicated to Esther, she just feels extra happy, sort of lighthearted, extra frisky and funny and fun and lighthearted. But it's a soft and it's a subtle thing. And when she finds herself there, she just milks it. She says, oh, this is one of the, here I am doing that. Here I am satisfied. And so once you begin noticing when you do feel satisfied, then you're able to determine or to distinguish when you aren't satisfied. That's the best part about identifying what satisfaction feels like to you. So Esther started thinking about it. One morning she sat with her notebook and tried to think of as many satisfying scenarios, the things that come up frequently. And she thought about getting into the monster bus, helping Jerry hook the car onto it, pulling the rooms in, the rooms that extended out, and pulling in all the cables and everything, and stowing everything, and then starting the engine. It had to idle for 5 minutes before you began moving this mammoth beast out onto the roadway. But then the feeling of pulling out onto the freeway always gave Esther this euphoric feeling of adventure and what this day was going to hold and what they were going to see and what they were going to discover. So she had done that often enough and felt it enough that she had identified and isolated that feeling. So now she's thinking about it. I know for sure that that was a feeling of satisfaction. Then she thinks about slipping into a seat in a restaurant with people she loves and looking across the table at them and feeling the fun that they are about and feeling the happiness that they all feel extra much when they are together and smelling what's going on from the kitchen and acknowledging the beauty of the place and all of the intentionality that's gone into it and that feeling of satisfaction of this moment in time coupled with what's yet to come. Esther has experienced that so many times that she has identified it and isolated it. She knows for sure that that's a satisfying moment. She goes over to her daughter's house and their family, and she always rings the doorbell because it makes Hazel come. And Hazel is this dog who has no manners whatsoever. And Hazel will come from wherever Hazel has been. Biggie comes too, but Biggie's not as interested in Esther as Hazel is. And then Hazel just greets Esther and greets Esther and greets Esther. The greeting lasts and lasts and lasts and lasts. You'd think that it was the most important thing in this little dog's life to see Esther. And Esther just takes it all in. And then Hazel lays on the floor, right down, making it almost impossible for Esther to reach all of the places that Hazel wants to be scratched. And then Esther will say, Hazel, come with me. And then they'll go find a chair and Esther will sit down and Hazel will sit at Esther's feet. And Hazel will stay there as long as the scratching happens. So satisfying, not just for Hazel. The scratcher gets satisfaction, not just the scratched. And so Esther isolates that. Often her mind goes to that. The tree house, the magnificent treehouse that looks over the top of the entire county. And Esther can barely see the rooftops of the buildings that are on her 40 acres that she and Jerry had planned and put there. The satisfaction of standing up there and feeling the breeze and listening to the wind chimes and being up in the trees with the birds. Satisfaction that has been identified and isolated and practiced, you see. You have to tune yourself to the frequency of letting in what you want. And your life does not always automatically do that, because you are problem solvers and you are problem seers and you are pushers againsters of different things. But if you really take it in, that your life has caused you to know what you want and that it's all there waiting for you in its vibrational form, and that any moment in which you are satisfied, your path of least resistance is open and the impulse to move in the direction of what you want is there, then you become even an inspired pointer. When you're tuned in like that, your inner being can even begin to think thoughts and offer those thoughts to you. That's where inspiration comes from. That's where ideas come from. That's where the best of timing comes from. Timing. You see, oh, it is so lovely to be in these physical bodies and to be tuned in, tapped in, tuned in with the source who is knowing everything that you want, knows everything that you want, knows where you stand physically and vibrationally in relationship to everything that you want. So your inner being is not only offering you inspiration about where to go and where to be in order to rendezvous with other co-creators. Your inner being is offering you inspiration about a thought that will lead to 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 a thought, because you're not right now, this red hot minute, ready for the thought that's going to take you all the way home. Sometimes you have to coax yourself there because you've got beliefs that are in the way. Your inner being will help you bridge those beliefs. Your inner being will help you bit by bit come to believe that you can be or do or have anything that you want. And when you get there, then you know what your mind is filled with? You know what you think about when you wake up? What is it that I want? Not how am I going to get there, or when will it come, or will it come? Your mind is, oh, of all of the magnificent things that I've discovered in my experience on this planet, what do I now want? What do I want to turn my attention toward? What may I desire? What may I focus upon? Because it's a sure thing the source energy will get all over it. Source energy will help me. I just got a point.